Hi, this is Rebecca Kolodziejski for Module 5. I'm going to be doing kinesiology movements. And I will say, this was a new assignment for me. I have never had to do, I've had to do videos before, of course, usually like reciting a speech or something, but I've never had to do movements. So this is a very uncharted territory. This is a new type of assignment for me. And one of the first things I wanted to research was how to pronounce kinesiology. So when I started to do my research on that, and of course you have the button on Google that tells you how to pronounce words, I couldn't help it. I had to look at the history of kinesiology. I love the history of medicine. I find it really interesting. My husband and I go to Colonial Williamsburg every year, and the first couple of years there, I kept trying to find this hospital museum they had. And I could never find it. We always ran out of time. We only go for the weekend because we're only about 4 hours away. But I finally found it a few years ago. It's within another museum. It's like a section of another museum. And it was really interesting to see medicinal practices during colonial times. It's really something that's always, I love reading articles about early medicinal practices. And if you ever get a chance to go to Colonial Williamsburg, I suggest you check it out. It was really neat. They had like a hospital room and voiceovers explaining what it would have been like. So very cool. But back to kinesiology, I had to know the history. And I actually LOL'd. I actually laughed out loud because I just finished my ethics course prior to this one. And we read about a lot of Aristotle in ethics, right? And I had to laugh to find out that Aristotle was also considered the father of kinesiology. I never would have guessed that. He actually had a work entitled On the Movement of Animals. This guy, he invented everything. But I thought that was really cool. And then I read about in the early 20th century, there was an orthopedic surgeon in Boston, Lovett, and he used muscle testing to analyze disabilities and nerve damage from polio patients. And he tested spinal nerve damage because he could often link them back to a common spinal nerve. And he published his findings in 1932. So I found that really interesting. And now I will get on and show you these movements with my little history lesson complete. You'll excuse me, I'm not too video savvy, but I think I have this set up so you can see me. Okay, flexion and extension look like this. Okay. Flexion decreases the angle between the bones, and extension increases the angle and straightens the joint. It's a sagittal plane of motion, shoulder, hips, elbows, knees, etc. Okay? Moving on to abduction and adduction. These are lateral motions of the limbs, hands and fingers. So it looks like this, abduction and adduction. Okay. And also abduction and adduction can be the spreading of your fingers. It's abduction and adduction. Okay. For the next part of the video, I hope I don't make you seasick, but I did just have a pedicure, so it won't be too bad. You have to look at my feet. So let me move this camera. I want to make sure you can see. So I'm going to sit back down. Okay. And I think you can see. Okay. So, inversion and eversion are complex movements. They involve the multiple plane joints among the tarsal bones of the foot. So inversion is the turning of the foot to angle the bottom toward the midline and then away. So toward, and then eversion is away. And then dorsion and flexion are movements of the ankle joint, which is a hinge joint. So lifting the front of the foot so that the top of the foot moves toward the anterior leg. This is dorsiflexion. This feels dangerously close to exercise. And while lifting the heel of the foot and pointing the toes down, this is plantar flexion. And I was just joking. I do like exercise. Okay. So I think that concludes my video. That was all my movements. And I will cite my sources. I'll submit a page with where I got the history of kinesiology. And this was a really fun assignment. I really enjoyed it. So thank you.